Hey guys, have you ever been in a situation where you're in pain and either you don't know why you're in pain or you do know what happened but you don't know how much longer you will have to suffer for, and if there is a solution, and if so, what is that solution? Right? You're just sitting with those unknowns spinning through your head, you're stuck in this uncertainty. It feels as if this pain is this giant mystery that you're unable to solve. Now, I'm here to tell you that if you understand a thing or two about the mind-body connection, then things start to really make sense. So I'm gonna briefly, in a couple of sentences, tell you how the mind-body connection works, and then I'm gonna illustrate that with a real-life example of a client I had recently. All right, so let's get into it. The way I see pain is it's a message from our soul. Our soul is trying to tell us something, all right? When we have a strong emotion, whether it's sadness, anger, frustration, or any kind of emotion, and we are suppressing that emotion or we're ignoring it, the body will create a physical pain in order to distract us from that emotion. Why? Well, usually it is easier to handle or to deal with a physical pain than an emotional pain. And secondly, it is socially more acceptable, right? And so our body is just trying to tell us something. Our soul is trying to give us that message and just ringing that bell of like, I need your attention here, okay? So recently I had this client, a young woman who had really bad sciatica. She could barely walk, she was limping, she had numbness in her leg. She said she wanted to cut her leg off. It's really bad, okay? So I go to her house, I start treating her, releasing tensions in her body, and then I start educating her about the mind-body connection. I tell her what I just told you, and then I said that our legs represent our direction in life because they allow us to walk. So usually if we have symptoms in our legs, it is to do with the direction that our life is heading in and whether or not we're happy with that direction. And especially when the pain is in the back of the leg, it's often because we feel something is holding or pulling us back from advancing towards the life that we want. And so I asked her, what has happened in the last couple of months on an emotional level? And she said, well, I got married and I shouldn't have. I said, right, that makes a lot of sense. So you don't want to go in that direction of being married with that person, right? I said, what is it between you and I that you really want? What is it that you really, really want deep in here? And she said, to be honest, I just want to fuck off and go traveling. And I said, that makes a lot of sense, right? And before I go any further, I just want to mention that when I got home, I checked a book that I often use when it comes to mind-body pain, which is this one. The body is the barometer of the soul, and in it you can find different symptoms and what the explanation is for them. So sciatica is right here, and the description here is you are disregarding your own wants, therefore not communicating to yourself and others what you want for yourself. Beautiful, right? Makes perfect sense. And so I continued treating her and talking about the mind-body connection, and at some point I started working on her head, and I asked her, do you have headaches? And she said, oh yeah, quite often actually. And I said, well, the head represents our thoughts, our ideas, our visions. And when we have headache, not always, but often, it's because we are resisting or not accepting those thoughts. And of course, that was the case with her. She has thoughts of going traveling, but she's ignoring it because she's married and she has all these other responsibilities and so forth. And then as I was working on the bottom of her head, just here, I just intuitively had the message come to me that she feels crumbled under all the shoulds, right? She feels heaviness in her shoulders of all the shoulds, the have-tos, the musts, and so forth. And I said, that is really one of the main reasons why you want to travel, because when you travel, you don't have any shoulds, versus here, you're full of shoulds. And so gave her a lot of things to think about, to reflect on. I didn't tell her obviously what to do, but I'm just there to tell her what I know. I'm not there to tell her what she wants to hear. I'm there to tell her what she needs to hear. And that is very important. After that, it is up to her. And so after I finished treating her, I got her to stand up and she could do all the movements. She could walk. no limp, no pain whatsoever. She went up and down the stairs. She was like, I can't believe this. This is just unreal. I can't believe it, And that is what I wanted to tell you guys in this video, that pain isn't a mystery. It is not complex, right? If you live from your heart and you honor what it wants for you, if you are in touch with your higher self, with your soul, you're not just thinking what you should do, what people expect of you, you're living your own life on your own terms as much as possible, then it is much more unlikely to have physical pains. Of course, that doesn't mean you'll never have physical pains. Anything is possible. But I can tell you from personal experience, I can't remember the last time I was in pain. It's extremely, extremely rare for me to be in pain. And I attribute that because I understand the mind-body connection pretty well, and I'm really in tune with my feelings and just go for things that make me happy, right? And so this is my invitation for you to have a think, like, are you living your life from a heart-based place? Are you doing things too much for other people and ignoring your own wants? Are you accepting your thoughts, or are you resisting your thoughts and your feelings? It's really about understanding that you have emotions, which is literally energy in motion. Those emotions deserve to be honored, to be expressed, to be felt rather than suppressed. And if you do so, then that will not create energetic blockages in your body, which will lead to pain and discomfort. All right? So that's my message for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've been in a situation before where you had a pain and it turned out to be something emotional. Feel free to share it in the comments, and hopefully this will help you. If it does, give it a like and subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from you. Ciao.